Senior political reporter for LifeZette, Ashley Pratt, and Republican strategist and former communications aide to the McCain-Palin campaign, Boris Epshteyn. Thank you both for sticking around with us.
Of course. Good morning.
Yeah, it was a big day yesterday. Ashley, I'll start with you. Big surprise, big disappointment.
I think the biggest surprise and maybe disappointment for some people was Marco Rubio dropping out of the race. You know, he did say that he was going to stay in this race until the convention, even if his campaign ran out of money, even if they were coasting on fumes, he would get in his pickup truck and he would carry on until the convention. That clearly did not happen with a devastating loss in Florida, and I think that his campaign ultimately made the right decision. I think the interesting thing out of that was one of his policy aides last night actually tweeted that they believe their support should go to Senator Ted Cruz if they want to stop Donald Trump. So I do think in the days ahead, maybe we will see an endorsement from Marco Rubio for Senator Cruz. I don't know. It might be a little too early for that. But I do think if the Republicans want to consolidate and coalesce behind one candidate, that will be Ted Cruz
Boris,
at this point.
That's 167 delegates that are up for grabs. Do you think that that's what will happen?
Well, an endorsement could happen, but it will be another example of Marco Rubio completely flip-flopping on everything from being the nice guy to not being so nice to having a very negative interaction with Ted Cruz throughout the beginning of this primary process to potentially endorsing him, and also to saying he's going to stay in it and now dropping out. Dropping out was the right move. The biggest surprise of the night was most likely on behalf of Marco Rubio. I'm sure he was surprised that he lost so much. Disappointment for me was that Ted Cruz now is the one that's giving these, well, I'm second or third, but I won speeches. They should stop doing that. He's not going to be the nominee. It's time to go home. Donald Trump is going to be the GOP nominee.
Speaking of those speeches yesterday, last night, Donald Trump's demeanor in his speech, you know, he was talking once again about unifying the party, coming together as one. Boris, do you think that he can do that?
Absolutely. Not only can he unify the party, and he's already doing that by reaching out and speaking to Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell, he's shown to be winning not just with evangelicals or strongly conservatives, but moderates as well as he's bringing in other people, independents, Democrats. We have 3 million more people who voted for Republicans on Super Tuesday this time than voted for Democrats. In 2008, that was the other way around. So we have such enthusiasm on our behalf right now as Republicans. We should embrace it, and it's all because of Donald Trump.
And we were talking about that earlier, specifically in Ohio alone. 7%, I think, of Democrats voted Republican, and 28% of the independents did. Ashley, what is the key to the Republican nomination now, or is it a done deal?
I think at this point, you know, it's a two-man race. Kasich's still in it, but he really doesn't have a shot. Mathematically, Cruz has the best shot to doing that. I do think that with exit polling showing that over 60% of Republican voters aren't comfortable or would not vote for Donald Trump if he were the nominee speaks volumes in the sense of maybe his path forward is a little unclear. He does have a lot of support. He is bringing in Democrats and independents. He does have the ability to talk about trade and the economy in a way that relates to people from, you know, both parties. But I do think moving ahead, that's still a big block of Republican voters that are looking for an alternative to Donald Trump. So
Boris,
that's where game is on.
There is no alternative. Ted Cruz does not have support in the states that are coming up. You're looking at the Northeast. Ted Cruz's shot was in the Southeast. He failed there. Donald Trump is going to go to New York, New Jersey, going to go to Rhode Island, going to go to California. He will be the nominee. He will wrap it up before the convention.
We will see what happens. It does continue. Thank you both for joining us. Boris and Ashley, thanks.
Thank you.
Abby?
Interesting debate there. Thanks, Heather. The time is currently 9 after the hour. The frontrunners finding success on the second Super Tuesday. But wait until you hear how many voters